Please be seated. Good afternoon indeed. I'm David Paradise, Senior Associate Dean at the College of Business, and it is my distinct pleasure to extend a warm welcome to you for joining us today at our Master's Hooding Ceremony. I'm truly delighted that all of you could join us for this distinctive ceremony where family and friends are given the opportunity to witness the hooding of our graduates in a more intimate setting than the Civic Center. This ceremony includes our online students as well as our on-campus students. We currently have online students taking classes while living in other cities in Florida and in other states such as Idaho, Wisconsin, California, and New York, just to name a few. In the past, we have had active military students enrolled in online classes while deployed overseas, with some of them persevering through classes even while deployed in war zones. For our online students, this is a special time. We're meeting many of you, and you are meeting each other for the very first time face to face. As online students, you never have to set foot on campus, so we're especially honored that you've made the journey to join us here today. We are here to celebrate the accomplishments of the spring class of 2015. Taking time to recognize the accomplishments of our graduates is very important. The first Master's Hooding ceremony was initiated by the MBA class of 2006. Since then, it has grown to include all of our master's degree programs. The hallmark ceremony is to invite a successful friend of the college to help us mark this occasion by providing some thoughtful insights. Today's keynote speaker breaks with that tradition just a little bit, in that we have asked our own Dean Karen Beck-Dudley to speak with this graduating class. Dean Beck-Dudley is the 5th dean and the first woman to lead the FSU College of Business. After serving as Dean of the College of Business at Utah State for 4 years, she arrived in Tallahassee with a rich academic career in the areas of business and employment law and business ethics. She had a proven record of success in the business world as well, evidenced in 2004 when she was named one of Utah's Visionaries, 30 Women to Watch. She has received similar accolades in Florida, most recently as the 2012 nominee for Leadership Tallahassee's Leader of the Year. At Florida State, she champions the Entrepreneurial University and RISC Big Idea initiatives. Her most recent strategic project is the visioning, planning, funding, and building of a new College of Business building, tentatively named Legacy Hall, which will be located among a conference hotel, retail space, and a basketball arena in the newly formed Arena District that anchors one end of the Madison Mile. Karen has held leadership roles in the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business and the Academy of Legal Studies in Business. Locally, she serves on the board of directors for Goodwill Industries, Big Bend Incorporated, and has served on the boards of SunTrust Bank, Tallahassee, the Economic Development Council of Tallahassee and Leon County, the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce, and the Urban Land Institute of North Florida. Karen has served as an editor and published articles in the American Business Law Journal, and has also published in the Journal of Business Ethics, the Employee Rights and Responsibilities Journal, the Journal of Public Policy and Marketing, and the Journal of Energy Law and Policy, among others. Her research activities have garnered her both the Holmes Cardozo and the Ralph C. Hober Awards from the Academy of Legal Studies in Business. After graduating magna cum laude from Utah State University with a bachelor's degree in political science, Dean Beck-Dudley received her Juris Doctorate from the University of Idaho College of Law, where she was on the moot court team and the editorial board for the Idaho Law Review. Please join me in welcoming Dean Karen Beck-Dudley to the podium.
I am pleased to be here. I'm not that old. Graduates, I want to congratulate you on your accomplishments, and family and friends, welcome to Florida State University. Please give your graduates another round of applause. I do appreciate this opportunity to celebrate this milestone with you. 2006 was the year I started here, and this was actually one of the first events we initiated, so I'm very proud of where it has come. Since I entered academia, I believe I have listened to around 50 different graduation speeches. I might be an expert in graduation speeches. The worst ones were too long, so that won't be the case here. And the best ones identified a few personal attributes that the speaker believed were responsible for their success, and I do want to share a few of mine with you. But before I do, I want to brag a little bit about the College of Business. In case you didn't know, U.S. News and World Report, its 2015 edition, ranks America's best colleges, ranks our College of Business undergraduate program number 40 in public institutions in the nation. We also earned a combined number 16 spot among public universities, number 26 among all schools for our online master's degrees in management information systems and risk management and insurance. The College of Business secured the number 6 spot among all public and private surveys for this year's Best for Vets business schools ranked by Military Times. We also ranked number 18 on the list of top 25 graduate business schools nationwide with the best value according to Business Insider. U.S. News also ranks our Dr. William T. Holt National Alliance Program in Risk Management and Insurance number 5 among public institutions, and our real estate program number 9 among public institutions. Our part-time MBA is ranked among the top 45 in the nation, and the Dedman School of Hospitality boasts a near 100% placement rate. Our accounting program is ranked number 35th by Accounting Degree Review. And while I say this, I actually don't think rankings are that important if you knew how they were actually came out. But most people find them interesting, and many are promoted and talked about. But the real quality of a school and of your education is the quality of the faculty, and I actually think the accomplishments of the alumni upon graduation. I want you to know you were taught by excellent faculty. I'm very proud of them. For example, our real estate faculty are ranked number 2 in research appearance in 3 core journals, and C.F. Sermons, who's one of our eminent scholars, is the top real estate scholar in the world. A recent study identified 4 of our Florida State Risk Management Insurance faculty members as the most prolific authors in the leading risk management journals during the past 10 years. And one of our marketing faculty members is the most prolific author in the Journal of Marketing Theory and Practice. We have finance faculty ranked as the 14th and 20th, this is out of thousands of finance faculty in the country, most prolific authors in the core finance journals. And we have the 4th most prolific author in hospitality. Our faculty consists of 1 Francis Epps professor, 8 eminent scholars, 2 university named professors, and 28 now endowed named professors. Most importantly, and I could go on, but I won't, our students have gone on to lead some of the nation's major companies. For example, the president of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts in the United States and France is one of our grads, as is the president of Chico's, the CEO of Virgin Cruise Lines, the head of Merrill Lynch Wealth Management, the CEO of Dollar Tree, the past CEO of Sunkist, the former CFO of Deloitte, the past CEO of retail giants Galleons, Bon Marché, and Wanamaker, and scores of others. College of Business graduates are also very successful entrepreneurs, including those who have started oil and gas exploration companies, international leasing companies, real estate development companies, a Napa Valley winery, which I highly recommend, banks and insurance companies, just to name a few. You now have the opportunity, graduates, as they did, to go forward and make your mark in the world. I hope you found your program rigorous and that you took advantage of our top-notch faculty. We are confident that you are well-trained and have the technical skills to succeed. But now I want to share with you some other skills you may have learned or should have learned that I also find essential to success. I call this what I learned in college that prepared me for this position, or why university life, unlike most people think, is the real world and not the ivory tower. Why do some instructors take attendance and participation and make it part of the grade? I get many complaints every semester about that. Well, Larry Miller, and I'm from Utah, as they said, Larry Miller was the owner of the Utah Jazz. He actually had 6 weeks, he passed away a couple of years ago, he had 6 weeks of college. But he went on to be an incredibly successful automobile, not manufacturer, but dealership. He had like 30, 40 across the West, and was able to buy the Utah Jazz. He came on campus one time, and he went through how he got to his position and what happened. And one of the students asked him, "Mr. Miller, are there any other opportunities available for me?" And he said, "If you show up on time, 50% of your competitors will not be there because they don't show up on time. If you show up on time and you're prepared, then you get rid of the remaining another 25%. And if you show up prepared, on time, and with a good attitude, you and maybe 1 or 2 other people are there." And so, once again, I challenge you, show up on time, be prepared, and have a good attitude. The second thing I learned in school, my path is not defined and was not knowable. I'm actually a political science undergrad who went to law school, a very non-traditional path for a dean of a business school. And if you talk to my friends that I went to college with, they would be shocked that I am here today. But I always tried to do my best because the path to success isn't defined. I met my late husband as an undergraduate. I went to law school because we decided to get married, and he was already accepted into a PhD program. He went to work for the federal government, hated it. I went to work for a large law firm. He went to work for a university, and the professor teaching business law quit and didn't give the university any notice. So because I worked for a large firm, I could actually quit without giving them very much notice, because you work under several layers, for those of you who are lawyers, and could start teaching. And the person asked me, "Do you think you can teach?" I won't tell you how young I was, but it was way under 28. And what's your answer? Of course I can teach. Yes, I passed the bar, I can teach. And that really started my academic journey. And I've always been willing to take opportunities as they've arrived. But the opportunities arise because I've always tried to be successful and be very, very well prepared at what I do. The third talent that you would learn in college, hopefully, is the advantage of being able to engage in small talk with people you don't know. And go to parties and events where you learn to meet and greet. We have lots of events in college, and people think it's just a place for free food. It's not a place for free food. I mean, it is. But it's also a place where you can walk up to somebody, introduce yourself, and learn to engage in conversation with them. Last night I was at a party at 150. A week ago I was at a party of 1,400. Tonight I will meet all of you, hopefully. And so the ability to meet and greet and practice that skill set and engage in conversation and have people remember who you are is actually one of the best skills I ever learned in college, and I continue to practice it to this day. That's especially important in today's technological world, where people actually don't talk with each other. Even my assistant next door will email me, even though she's like right there, about something that was going on. And so the ability to engage, I think, is incredibly important. Fourth, and I didn't learn this till law school, I was not good at this as an undergraduate, but it's really important to get plenty of sleep. I say that at the end of finals week. And it's very important to eat good food. Why? I can work all day long if I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. If I get 5 hours of sleep or 4 hours of sleep a night, I can show up to work, but I am not effective. And if I eat junk food all day, I am really not effective. And so please practice taking care of yourself. I also now have a Fitbit. So they're practicing, I'm learning to practice to actually move in my office as opposed to sitting at my desk all day long as well. Something new for me. The fifth skill that I think is very interesting is be generally interested in everything and continue to be a self-motivated learner. Many students get caught in the skill sets and the course content, and they wonder why they have to take certain classes because it doesn't directly apply to what they're doing. You never know what's going to apply in the future. Jim Seneff is one of our alums and the founder of CNL. For those of you who don't know CNL, it is the leading private investment management firm providing global real estate and alternative investment opportunities. It's headquartered in Orlando. He credits much of his incredible success to voracious reading of everything from biographies to philosophy to science. He actually has a book club. This ability to continually learn is even more important as the world of work and business continue at a disruptive pace. Six, and I hope you learn this as well, you need to learn to live with a variety of people, like it, and still survive. For most of us, it is not until college, and for many, not until graduate school, that we come into contact with, work with, study with, and participate in projects with people who are not our same religion, who are not our same political party, who are not our same race, who are not our same gender, who are not our same nationality, or come from our same family income background. I hope you embraced working with people who are not like you and learning to communicate and lead in those types of groups. It is very likely in today's world that your new work teams will be people who are located across the globe. Number 7, and there's only 8. Learn to fall on the sword early. And what I mean by that is if you look in today's newspaper, yesterday's newspaper, 10 years ago's newspaper, most political scandals and business scandals occur in not the mistake that was made, but in the cover-up. We all make mistakes, but for many it's almost impossible for them to admit it. And by then, the cover-up occurs and careers are irreparably damaged. To say I apologize and take responsibility for those actions quickly goes a long way to moving from the mistake and on to the future. Along that, when you're a leader, is to learn not to kill the messenger of bad news. If you do that, even once, you will never hear the bad news again. And the 8th one is have a positive attitude. A lot of us pride ourselves on being cynical and sarcastic. No one likes a cynic, and no one likes sarcasm. If you think of the best bosses and the people that you like to be around, it really is people who have positive attitudes, who look at the world as half full, not half empty, and are able to move past those difficulties. So practice having a positive attitude, and people will like you, and people who like you will follow you. With that, good luck, keep in touch, enjoy your accomplishments, and allow me, thank you for allowing me to spend the day with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. I am now honored to introduce my colleague, Dr. William A. Christiansen, Chairman of the Department of Finance at Florida State University since 2005. Dr. Christiansen oversees the operation of one of the largest majors at the university, while also serving as the director of the BB&T Center for Free Enterprise. Dr. Christiansen has published numerous articles in the areas of bank asset and liability management, bank regulatory policy, pension fund management, bank runs and failures, macroeconomic policy issues, and various economic performance issues. He also has been a consultant, a speaker, and an instructor in executive programs to various associations, companies, and universities in the areas of global, U.S., and Asian economic performance, the economics of education, the Florida economy, monetary policy, and commercial banking issues. Bill has taught a variety of courses at Florida State University, including a doctoral seminar in financial institutions, MBA courses in business conditions analysis and economic policy, and undergraduate courses in financial institutions and markets, commercial banking, and special topics in finance and economics. He was honored with the 2008 Florida State University Distinguished Teacher Award, the first time a faculty member in the College of Business had been given this prestigious teaching award. In addition, he has been awarded the MBA Professor of the Year Award 7 times. We're not going to let him be nominated anymore. The University Teaching Award 3 times, the Florida State University Guardian of the Flame Award in 2008, and the Christopher C. Campbell Distinguished Alumni Award in 2012. More recently, he was awarded a University Graduate Teaching Award for 2013 through 2014. Dr. Christiansen earned his BA in Economics and Asian Studies at Brigham Young University, his MS in Economics and Business at Brigham Young University, and his PhD in Economics and Finance with an emphasis in financial institutions and markets at the University of Utah. I present to you now Dr. William Christiansen.
It's a privilege to be here this afternoon. Congratulations to all of our graduates. I see a lot of faces that have been in my classes the past year, and we're very proud of them. And I want to welcome all of the family members that you have supported them this year and through the years, and I know it is very appreciated, as many of the students have told me about your great support for them. What I'd like to do today is just talk for a few minutes about the changing world that's leading to great challenges for our graduates. And there are great challenges. This is the most remarkable time to be alive. You know, if we took a snapshot right today of this world, of the global economy, of society, it'll be outdated in about 2 days. because the world is changing so rapidly right now, and that's our challenge. Our students have been taught about this changing world. They've learned about accounting and finance and economics and risk management and marketing and technology and all of the areas, and they've learned about all the changes, but those changes are going to continue. Those changes are happening so rapidly that we can't even comprehend it. And I'm just going to talk just for a minute think about what's happened over the last 10 to 20 years. If you grow up in the era I grew up, there were no PCs and there were no cell phones and there were really no internet. We had to learn the old-fashioned way. Students don't even they think I grew up 150 years ago, and it's close to that. But with that said, the world has changed, and it's changing so fast. The internet, PCs, tablets, smartphones, texting. The first text was in 2002, so it wasn't that long ago. Facebook. Facebook has 900 million users in the world. If we counted that as the population, to be the third largest country in the world at that point, after China and India. Google. What did we do before Google? BG, before Google, what did we do? Every month there's 31 billion searches on Google. In 2006, it was 2.7. It's gone from 2.7 to 31 billion in just 9 years. Twitter, there's 50 million tweets per day. 50 million, that's amazing. But think of GPS and how much you depend on email and all the instant communication. Our online classes, online teaching. I can remember teaching students that are in the battlefield in Iraq. And it's amazing, or London, or California, or Europe, in different places. That's amazing. It's a different world than it used to be. Well, where's it going? It's going to continue to be a different world. 20 years ago, we couldn't dream of the world we have right now. Can we dream of the world 20 years from right now? I don't think so. But if you look at globalization, all the offshoring, all of our companies that take factories to different countries of the world. The rise of China, the second largest economy in the world, expected to challenge the U.S. in the future. Someday they could surpass our gross domestic product. It's projected down the road. The world's getting flatter. Many countries, we're seeing a stronger middle class. Much progress has been made. Well, maybe Europe has taken a step back. The creation of the euro has only happened in the last 15 years. And Greece, the bailouts of Greece and so forth, the problems the European Union is going through, well, it's all leading right now to intense global competition. When you have a firm in Orlando or Tampa, oftentimes they're competing with firms in China and Germany and the UK and so forth. It's a global economy right now, which is very different than it used to be many years ago. Think about our economy. We had the financial crisis just 7 years ago. 8 billion jobs, 8 million, not quite billion, 8 million jobs were lost. Homes lost half their value, and the Dow fell in half all at once right there. It was a crisis. It's the biggest downturn that we've seen since the Great Depression. And it was scary. It was scary. We bailed out some of our biggest companies, General Motors and AIG and Bank of America and Citibank. Decisions were made to do that. Some controversial. Some agreed, some didn't agree, but we went through that. But what we've seen is the importance of education with all these changes taking place. Our master's students right here, there's only, if you look at our population that are older than 25, only 7% have master's degrees right now. 7%. So you're joining a group. And what we see is the difference between a master's and a bachelor's degree. Over a lifetime, there's 4 times the earnings power is what we find out. That's what very good studies show. And so over a period of time, this will pay off for you guys. Seems like a sacrifice when you're going through it, and it is. But that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. And I will add, they couldn't have done it without all you guys. We all know that very much. Well, there's a whole bunch of things going on. I'll mention two other things that are affecting us right now. Would we have ever expected this? The California drought is now hitting 4 years. It's scary. If you've been out in the Southern California area, their reservoirs are dry. It's a very crazy situation. Well, for most of our vegetables, over half of them are grown in California. 80-something% of avocados are grown in California. And we wonder why those prices are going up right now. We're all affected by that. It's affecting the global, certainly everybody globally. Oil prices have dropped in half. That's a good thing, right? So every time you fill up, well, it makes it so you have money, you have personal income and purchasing power to do other things. And that's been quite a development. The United States is the #1 oil producing nation in the world right now. 20 years ago, could I have imagined that? No. Well, what's going to happen in the future? That's kind of where we're going with this. And what I'm saying to our graduates right here is, you've learned all of these things, but you know what? 3 years from right now, it's going to become outdated. That's really the world we're in. It's changing so rapidly. Learning is a lifetime process. If you stop learning right now, what will happen is you will fall way behind. This is the start. It's a foundation. I think you've been taught how to learn. I think you've been taught very nice skills and good information, but it continues on. And I challenge you to stay on top of that information and to be successful. In order to do that, I'm just going to give you, I'm not going to give 8 things, but I'm going to give just a few things. I'm not the dean, so I can only do half as many as Karen does. So, but the first thing is, I would say, graduates, get to know yourself. You already have learned who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses. I can do that well, I can't do that well, but you know what? It'll continue. You will learn more about yourself. The world's going to change. You're going to have to change somewhat to meet the needs of the world. So get to know yourself. As the world changes, how can I fit into that world and make a difference? I think that's really what you're trying to do, and that's the challenge for all of us, I think, as we move forward. A Chinese proverb, he who knows others is wise, he who knows himself is enlightened. And that is so true, I've found over the years. So know yourself. Know yourself even better than you do right now. The reason is because the world changes. How are you going to change to meet those needs? Accept yourself, though, for who you are. Don't try to be somebody different than you are right now. Each one of you is unique. You have unique skills, abilities, and understanding of things that you can use to your advantage. Every single person is unique. And I like that, and when I teach our students, that's what I find out, is each one is unique and has great talents, different than the person sitting right next to them. It is really true. Wanting to be someone else is a waste of time. It's a waste of who you are. I think that is really true. When I played a lot of baseball in my early years, and I used to try to emulate my hero, Willie Mays. He was my hero, and I tried to hold the bat just like him, and I tried to hit like him. Well, guess what? I couldn't. I wasn't very good, actually. So I had to learn how to do it the best I could. That's the same thing for you. You know, we have idols, we have heroes, and we listen to what they say, but when it comes right down to it, you have to be you. Let me also just give you, what I've learned in my life is you have to have balance in your life. Yeah, we want you to go work hard at the workplace. Make a contribution, but you know what? You also have to make that same contribution to your families, to your communities. Have balance between, when we're out of balance and we spend too much time here or not enough time there, we suffer in some way. So balance will also make it so you will not burn out in a short time. I believe that is true. But make a difference with your families, make a difference at the workplace. Do not be afraid. I'll bet you some of the students right now feel a little bit afraid, a little concerned. It's a scary thing. When you've been at FSU for so many years, it feels pretty good. You know, you win the national championship, and you know, you have good times, and it feels secure. Then you leave. It's a little scary. I remember that feeling. But do not be afraid. The fear of being wrong is the prime inhibitor of the creative process. You have to, the world's changing, you have a lot to offer, go out there and do it. That's what I would say to each one of you. And the last thing I would say, and to me the most important one, is loyalty. Graduates, be loyal to those that have been loyal to you. We're talking about the people sitting right out here. Your family members that have financially supported you, emotionally supported you, have always been there. If you're there for other people, they will be there for you. I know that is true, and I encourage you to continue to share and to give back to your families. Families are big. It's a big deal, and we appreciate all of you and all that you've done. Well, for this occasion, I wrote a poem. I'm not a poet, but I write poems. So I know I will embarrass myself, but I'm still going to do this. So, because I'm not afraid, you know. So here's my challenge. Here's what I say to our graduates. Your adventure has begun. We are confident you will make the right choices and follow your heart. We hope in your life we will always have a part. Congratulations, graduates. Your future looks bright. Don't let go of your dreams. Always keep them in sight. There are no limitations in what you can achieve. Go chase your dreams and always believe. Don't let anything hinder your quest to be the very best. I congratulate you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. Now I have the privilege of introducing our student speaker, Lauren Masterson. Lauren is receiving her Master of Business Administration this spring after having previously earned her Bachelor of Arts in Economics and International Affairs in 2009 here at FSU. Lauren completed her MBA in the part-time program while serving as an Accounting and Human Resources Associate at Integrated Design Tools here in Tallahassee. She has also worked as a mortgage loan processor at Jack's Federal Credit Union in Jacksonville and a personal banker and credit manager with Wells Fargo Wachovia in St. Augustine. During her undergraduate studies, Lauren served with Alpha Chi Omega as a prolific fundraiser for the annual dance marathon. And during her MBA studies, Lauren served in the MBA Association. Lauren exemplifies the perseverance and dedication to excellence that we encourage in all of our graduate students. Please join me in welcoming Lauren Masterson to the podium.
Thank you, sir, for that introduction. Good afternoon, faculty, staff, family and friends, and fellow graduates. There are a few more faces than when I was practicing in the mirror. I'm honored to represent the 2015 graduating master's students today. It is a privilege to speak on behalf of my fellow graduates, and I hope to provide a summary of our time in the program to which each person can relate. While reflecting on the last 2 years and how best to summarize our experiences we've had, I kept returning to the word journey, the verb, not the band. As T.S. Eliot wrote, the journey, not the arrival, matters. While it has been our academic journey that has shaped us, this arrival is pretty spectacular. We all started on the same path and ended at the same destination, but have reached this point following different routes. I can say it's been an arduous journey. Once a semester, it felt like I made the exclamation, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but here I am. Many of the graduates sitting up here have experienced the same sentiment at one point or another. While the completion of the program and earning a master's degree will surely prove invaluable to our futures, we've all made sacrifices to arrive on this stage, just as you before us have made sacrifices to allow us to realize these dreams. For that, on behalf of my fellow graduates, I'd like to express my undying gratitude. Thank you for being our rocks. We could not have done it without you. My schedule and coursework took place primarily in the evenings. I watched as classmates wished their children sweet dreams over the phone on breaks, or while others texted a spouse to say class is running later than expected and to please eat before it gets cold. For many up here, regardless of their program, the day started before the sun rises and there was still so much more to do after we were dismissed from the 8:30 class. However, this program has not been all woe is me and why did I do this? Not only have we had the opportunity to surround ourselves with others who seek knowledge, we've also had the support of faculty and staff. They've guided us with their intelligence and wisdom. They've watched us grow and helped us along the way. With each semester, there was a feeling of accomplishment and pride. But that feeling pales in comparison to the culmination of emotions experienced in this moment. It's sharing this moment with all of you that has made our journey so meaningful. So what have I learned during my time in the master's program? That I didn't miss all-nighters or circling the parking lot for the elusive spot? No. As a non-business undergraduate, I've been able to cover many topics of study that were previously foreign to me. I survived accounting despite my mother's chagrin that it did not come naturally. She's a CPA. I dabbled in economic theories and solving some sinking ships through business and marketing strategies. And the spoiler there is some firms just could not be saved. I've also traveled to foreign countries and observed differences in business practices, all while managing to get in some sightseeing. And I even got engaged on the 50-yard line at Doak Campbell Stadium. These are just a few of the highlights of the past 2 years from my perspective, but if you ask each graduate up here, he or she can provide their own review of the time in this program and how it has molded them. When I was first asked to speak, I was in disbelief. One of my goals when I chose to return to school was to be impactful. Being recognized among such a prestigious group of students was the moment I realized I had realized one of my dreams. I called my family and friends and received a string of exclamations, except for my grandfather. He immediately began inquiring about the contents of my speech and just how much of it would focus on grandparents. He was pushing really hard for a shout out with the supporting evidence that frankly grandparents teach you the most important life lessons. So while he was teasing, I think, about receiving recognition, he had a point. We all have influential people in our lives. When I consider my grandparents, I think how hard they worked to support their families. On the paternal side, my grandfather was an esteemed attorney. He left a legacy for his children and his wife. On the maternal side, my grandparents did not have the opportunity to earn a master's degree or even complete college. They struggled, saved, and sacrificed to take care of their children and each other. This all speaks to the times and educational systems, but then again, that's a debate for Dr. Chris Jansen's class. I'm in awe of the accomplishments from two very different lifestyles, two different paths that both proved successful. But I knew I wanted to follow the path that led to the greatest opportunity to excel. We all want to provide the best life we can and be the best people we can be, both for ourselves and for our families. In this moment, we have accomplished something that sets us apart. We are graduates of the Florida State University College of Business Master's Program. I challenge you to say that 3 times fast. Congratulations on the completion of this particular journey. Now that it's time to step out of the classroom and once again into the world, may you always remember life is about the journey, not the destination. Each of us chose to set forth on this path, whether it was boldly or tentatively. So for anyone who may be hesitant to take the step towards following his or her dreams and exploring a life-changing adventure, I want to leave you with some words by Naeem Calloway. Sometimes, the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. Tiptoe if you must, but take the step. Now it's time for us to take another step, this time across the stage to make it official. Congratulations, class of 2015, and go Seminoles.
Thank you, Lauren. We would now like to show our appreciation to 3 students who have served as the presidents of the student associations for the Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Accounting, and Master of Science in Finance programs. Student associations for our graduate programs serve to provide opportunities for participants to network with peers in their field, develop important leadership skills to prepare them for their career fields, and provide connections with alumni in their programs who can serve as mentors. These organizations also represent the College of Business at the FSU Congress of Graduate Students, serving as the voice for our students in the university-wide leadership group. Would Preston Harkup, David Kuhn, and Nick Serra please come to the podium? Come on. Preston Harkup has served as the president of the MBA Association for this graduating class. The MBA Association has fostered lasting connections between member students and their professors, fellow College of Business graduate students, and MBA students at peer universities this year by sponsoring a variety of networking events. In addition, the MBA Association has been a strong ambassador for the MBA program at Florida State University by its participation in the annual Light the Night fundraising event benefiting the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, as well as interstate business competitions. Preston, thank you for your service as the president of the 2014-2015 MBA Association, and I have a plaque for you here. David Kuhn has served as the president of the Student Association for the MS in Finance this year. Under David's leadership, the MSF Association has hosted numerous networking events, provided business cards for all students, and coordinated fundraising activities for Relay for Life, as well as the Justin Sisson Memorial 5K, which funds scholarships for ROTC cadets. David, thank you for your service this year. And the 2015 is the inaugural class for the new Masters of Accounting Association, for which Nick Serra has served as the first president. This has been a year of establishing a group identity and a singular purpose for the group, and they have done just that with many opportunities to get together outside of the academic setting and, as Nick put it recently, and I quote, add a sense of humanity to the indicant decimals and dollar signs that are pervasive throughout the everyday life of a student who is bold enough to pursue a master's degree in accounting. Well said, Nick. And thank you for your leadership of the Masters of Accounting Association. Thank you, gentlemen. Joining us today is Billy Francis, a 1986 FSU graduate and a 26-year Air Force veteran. Billy is the first director of the Florida State University Veterans Center. The Veterans Center is leading the way to achieve one of our major goals, to help FSU create an engaged and successful community of student veterans. In support of our nation and our service members past, present, and future, Florida State University is working to become the most veteran-friendly and empowering university in the nation. I'd like to note at this time that we are proud to say that just a few weeks ago we admitted another active duty soldier who is currently deployed to Afghanistan into our online MBA program. Billy is here today to place upon our graduating military the FSU Military Cord. This cord will be awarded to all veterans and active duty military to honor their dedication to service to their country and their graduation from FSU. Today we have several students in attendance to whom the cord will be presented. At this time, I'd like to call Arnaud Bellefroy, who's United States Marine Corps. Robert Benevent, who's Air Force. Andrew Sloan, also Air Force. Jeffrey Walreb, also Air Force. And David Kuhn, U.S. Army. Gentlemen, we present this cord as a show of our respect and gratitude for your service to our nation. Thank you so much. Our veterans and active duty soldiers who were not able to attend this ceremony will receive their cords in the mail. One thing that separates this master's degree celebration from the ceremony for the bachelor degree is the donning of regalia hoods, and we will now proceed with our hooding ceremony. When each student comes up for the adornment of his or her hood, I will read that graduate's name and hometown. We will be hooding our graduates by degree program. Will Professor Holly Sedano please come forward to hood our Master of Accounting graduates? Michael Abate, Tampa, Florida. Daniel Fields, Miami, Florida. Richard Granda, Miami, Florida. Brittany Linder, Palm Harbor, Florida. Nicholas Serra, Lecanto, Florida. Will Dr. David Orozco please come forward to hood our Masters of Business Administration graduates? Arnaud Bellafroy, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Robert Benevent, Escondido, California. Ryan Boys, Shalimar, Florida. Megan Browning, Fenton, Michigan. Andres Bucaro Diaz from Guatemala City. John Chury, Boynton Beach, Florida. Wesley Court, Panama City Beach, Florida. Sarah Dennis from Boca Raton, Florida. Abigail Eubank from Tallahassee, Florida. Will Fiorito from Tallahassee, Florida. Kimberly Franklin from Crawfordville, Florida. Ella Goodwin from Tallahassee, Florida. Gretchen Graves from Vero Beach, Florida. Jacob Gray from St. Petersburg, Florida. Preston Harkup from Sarasota, Florida. Robert Hobson from Tallahassee, Florida. Tanya Huff from Dallas, Texas. Michael Iglesias from Miami, Florida. Brett Johnson from Atlanta, Georgia. Andrea Kalinowski from Stuart, Florida. Tyler Kastma from Tallahassee, Florida. Kyle Larson from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Lauren Masterson from Tallahassee, Florida. Benjamin Mayer from Longwood, Florida. Michael McCluskey from Jacksonville, Florida. Neil Michaelides from Atlanta, Georgia. Rosalind Osteen from Huntsville, Alabama. Crystal Owens from Ocala, Florida. Leandro Perez from Tampa, Florida. Jeffrey Pritchard from Jacksonville, Florida. William Taswell Reynolds II from Tallahassee, Florida. Stephen Rogers from Fairport, New York. Dan Ross from Port Charlotte, Florida. John Ross from Las Vegas, Nevada. Nathaniel Rubel from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Andrew Sloan from St. Simon's Island, Georgia. Kathleen Turner from Okeechobee, Florida. Daniel Wilson from Tallahassee, Florida. Jeff Woolrab from Mauston, Wisconsin. Would Dr. Steve Perfect please come forward to hood our Master of Science in Finance graduates? Saleh Alatiki from Louisville, Kentucky. Assam Arif from Tallahassee, Florida. Quinn Berry from Palm Beach, Florida. Martin Chick III from Tallahassee, Florida. Alejandro Cifuentes from Panama City, Panama. Preston Coyle from Jacksonville, Florida. Danielle Goldberg from Long Island, New York. Ryan Greenwald from Boca Raton, Florida. Jacqueline Hernandez from Windermere, Florida. Eric Krieger from Jupiter, Florida.
Love you too, Mama.
Sydney Cryer from Jacksonville, Florida. David Kuhn from High Point, North Carolina. Carden Lanfer from Rockford, Illinois. Evan Levy from Orlando, Florida. Lauren Mathewson from Carmel, Indiana. Christopher Mihakovich from Tampa, Florida. Daniel Millay from Orlando, Florida. Jason Norman from Jupiter, Florida. Brandon Parliament from Boca Raton, Florida. Daniel Reiner from Pensacola, Florida. Huntley Smith from Boca Raton, Florida. Jacob Witsotsky from Orlando, Florida. Will Dr. Ruby Lee please come forward to hood our Master of Science in Marketing graduates? Omid Dadgar from London. Evan Emily Ann Hawes from Ponteverde Beach, Florida. John Rowling from Tallahassee, Florida. Will Dr. Ashley Bush please come forward to hood our Master of Science in Management Information Systems graduates? Chad Daughtry from Tampa, Florida. Theodore Robert Seaman Jr. from Charlotte, North Carolina. Will Dr. Kathleen McCullough please come forward to hood our Masters of Science in Risk Management and Insurance graduates? Juan Diaz Padron from Coral Gables, Florida. Christopher Primoroso from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Aaron Shipper from Blaine, Minnesota. Nathan Shipper from Blaine, Minnesota.
Good job, bro.
Did we get everybody? Members of the audience, I proudly introduce to you our newest members of the Seminole family, the Master's graduating class of the College of Business at Florida State University for spring 2015. In closing, I would like to recognize the family and friends of our graduates. I know from experience that you have gone through this program with our graduates, making sacrifices of time, attention, and certainly at sometimes money. I'd like all of the family and friends of our master's graduates to please stand. Graduates, this is your opportunity to thank them for their support. Thank you so much. Thank you. The faculty and staff of the College of Business care deeply about our programs and students and devote much of their lives to making a difference, often one person at a time. I'd like to have all of the faculty and staff here this afternoon to please stand. Our graduates would not be here without you, so thank you for all that you do for our students. Again, I would like to thank everyone for joining us here this afternoon. We will close with the recessional of our spring master's graduates for 2015. Immediately following the ceremony, please follow the signs outside that will direct you to a reception in the Westminster House across the street so that you may continue socializing and celebrating with faculty, family, and friends. And that's going to be right across the street over in that direction. For students not attending the university's commencement ceremonies that need to return their cap and gown, you may do so at the Westminster House at the reception. We've tried a little different arrangement this time, and so just so that we're not confused, we'll go out this way and up there, okay? We now conclude with the recessional of our faculty and graduates. Thank you very much.